Good day everyone, I am Angelica N. Bestro, one of the reporters together with Gregorio Jayan, Intia Sailin, Hastro Angelica, Juanelias Elamay, and Lagyap Christie. And today, we will discuss about the teacher as curriculum leaders. But first, let me read the learning objectives. So in this chapter, you will first discuss the key roles of teacher leaders in curriculum processes. Second, discuss the importance of teachers as curriculum leaders in planning and evaluating instruction. Third, discuss the roles of teachers as curriculum leaders in the K-12 education program. And last, identify the ways to develop teacher leaders in curriculum. So, let us now move on to key roles of teachers as leaders in curriculum processes. So, teachers play an important role in almost all activities related to curriculum processes. They are the chief implementers of the curriculum as they are directly involved in teaching and learning processes. They are catalysts of the development of individuals and societies. They have a strong passion for mission to make a positive difference in the lives of students. So, dito daw po, ang mga guro ay mahalaga sa pagpapatupad ng curriculum dahil sila mismo ang nagtuturo sa mga mag-aaral. Sila ang gumagabay sa pagkatuto at humuhubog sa pag-unlad ng mga estudyante at lipunan. Halimbawa na lamang po nito ay nagturo ang isang guro sa edukasyong pagpapakatao hindi lang para ipasa ang aralin, kundi para maturuan ng mga bata ng tamang asal at pagpapahalaga. So ipinapakita po rito na ang guro ay hindi lang nagtuturo ng impormasyon, kundi tumutulong ding linangin ang mabuting asal at pagkatao ng mag-aaral. Next naman po is the curriculum leadership. Can be simply defined as set of important rules and activities that each teacher does in relation to curriculum planning, curriculum design, curriculum implementation, and curriculum evaluation. In curriculum leadership, teachers are expected to innovate and develop curriculum that are relevant and responsive to the needs and context of the learners. Dito naman daw po sa curriculum leadership is ito po yung aktibong pakikilahok ng mga guro sa paghubog at pagsasaayos ng curriculum. So, hindi lang daw po sila yung tagasunod, kundi sila po yung tagapagpaunlad ng mga araling tumutugon sa pangangailangan ng mga estudyante. Halimbawa na lamang po nito is yung isang guro po sa TLE ay nagdagdag po ng mga araling may kinalaman po sa online business. Dahil po karamihan sa kaniyang mga estudyante ay tumutulong sa kanilang mga magulang para magbenta online. So makikita po, makikita po dito na ang guro ay gumamit ng curriculum leadership sa pamamagitan po ng pag-angkop ng aralin sa tunay na sitwasyon ng mga mag-aaral. So dito po nagiging mas kapaki-pakinabang ang pagkatuto para po sa kanila. The following naman po are some of the specific roles of teachers as instructional leaders in the local school context. First po is designing instructional plans, selecting and developing instructional materials, assessing and reporting students' progress, designing learning environment appropriate for the students, selecting appropriate teaching strategies and approach, preparing reports and accomplishing official forms, guiding students in their school life, and last po is teaching subjects assigned to them. So, dito naman daw po bilang instructional leaders, so ang guro po ay gumaganap ng marami pong tungkulin tulad po ng paggawa ng lesson plan, pagpili ng tamang teaching materials at strategies, pagbuo ng angkop na learning environment at paggabay po sa mga estudyante. So, halimbawa po nito is yung isang guro po sa Pilipino ay gumamit ng role-playing para po mas madaling matutunan ng mga estudyante ang isang dula. So, ipinapakita po nito na pumili ang isang guro ng isang angkop na teaching strategy para po sa kaniyang mga estudyante. So isa po itong konkretong halimbawa ng pagiging instructional leader na kumbaga po nakatutok sa epektibong pagkatuto ng mga estudyante. Next naman po is A to Z rules and functions of teachers as curriculum leaders in their own schools, district, division, or regional level. So, A. Advocate positive curricular reforms to ensure quality of education. So, dito naman po, ang guro daw po ay dapat maging tagapagtaguyod ng mga positibong pagbabago sa curriculum para po mas mapaunlad ang kalidad ng edukasyon. B. Broaden understanding of the teaching and learning process. So dito naman po dapat palawakin ng guro ang kanyang kaalaman sa mga makabagong paraan ng pagtuturo at pagkatuto para mas maging epektibo ang pagtuturo. C. Conduct research to enhance curriculum content and improve teaching and learning. So dito naman po mahalaga ang pananaliksik sa papel ng guro para po malaman kung epektibo ba ang mga aralin at paraan ng pagtuturo sa loob ng silid-aralan. D. Develop appropriate curriculum for students. So dito po ang guro ay dapat lumikha o mag-ambag sa pagbuo ng curriculum na naaayon sa antas, interes at kultura ng mga mag-aaral. E. Evaluate curriculum materials and the implementation of the curriculum. So dito naman po tungkulin ng guro na suriin ang mga ginagamit na materyales at kung paano ipinapatupad ang curriculum para po mas matiyak ang bisa nito. F. Facilitate activities to ensure public understanding of every single curriculum reform. So dito naman po responsibilidad po ng mga guro na ipaliwanag at ipalaganap ang pagbabago ng curriculum, lalong-lalo na po sa mga magulang at komunidad. G. Gather important data needed for curriculum planning. So, ang guro daw po ay dapat mangalap ng mga mahalagang datos tulad ng mga assessment result, feedback mula sa mga mag-aral at mga community surveys para maplano ang epektibong curriculum. H. Harness community resources in curriculum development. So, dito naman po, ang guro ay nagtataguyod ng paggamit ng mga lokal na resources at mga eksperto para mapabuti ang curriculum at mas maging relevant ito sa mga mag-aaral. I. Innovate curriculum and instruction. So, dito naman po dapat magpatuloy ang guro sa pag-iisip ng mga bagong paraan ng pagtuturo at pagbabago sa curriculum para mapanatiling interesado at matuto ang mga mag-aaral. J. Justify the need to innovate, evaluate, and develop curriculum. So, dito naman po, ang guro po ay may tungkulin na ipaliwanag kung bakit kailangan ang pagbabago, pagsusuri at pagbuo ng curriculum para sa mas epektibong pagkatuto ng mga mag-aaral. K. Know every learner needs, issues, and interest. So, dito naman po, ang guro po ay dapat may malalim na pag-unawa sa mga pangangailangan, issue at interes ng bawat mag-aaral para matugunan ang kanilang personal at pang-akademikong pangangailangan. L. Lobby congressional support for bills that are needed for curriculum reforms. So, dito naman po, ang guro ay may papel na makipagtulungan sa mga mambabatas upang makakuha ng suporta para sa mga batas na magpapabuti sa curriculum. So, halimbawa na lamang po nito is yung isang guro ay nakipagkonsulta sa mga lokal na kongresista tungkol sa pagdagdag ng pondo para sa teknolohikal na kagamitan sa mga paaralan. So, ang guro po ay hindi lamang nagtuturo sa loob ng silid-aralan, kundi aktibong nakikilahok sa paggawa ng mga hakbang para mapabuti ang edukasyon sa pambansang antas. So, ang kanyang pakikilahok po ay nakatutulong sa pagsuporta ng mga proyekto at batas na magpapabuti sa curriculum.
Good evening everyone, my name is Jane Pigroge and I am the second discussant. So, let's continue our discussion. First is manage curriculum implementation and curriculum change. This involves the overseeing the process of putting a new curriculum into a practice and managing any necessary adjustment or update to the existing curriculum. This includes planning, organizing, coordinating, and monitoring the implementation process. Nurture creative and critical thinking in the curriculum. The curriculum should foster student creative abilities and their capacity to think critically and analytically. This might involve incorporating project-based learning, problem-solving activities, and opportunities for students to express their ideas. Orient teachers, students, parents, and other stakeholders on the new curriculum, effectively communicating the change and rationally behind a new curriculum to all involved parties is crucial for successful implementation. This includes providing trainings for teachers, explaining the curriculum's goals to students and parents, and addressing any concern or question. Provide update knowledge on the subject they teach. Teachers need to ongoing professional development to stay current with their subject matter. This ensures that they can effectively deliver the curriculum content and adapt to new research and methodologies. Qualify acceptable curriculums, ideas, and theories. This involves evaluating different curriculum, proposal, and theories to determine which are most sustainable and effective for a specific context. This could involve reviewing research, consulting with experts, and considering the methods of the studies. Reflect on different research that influence the curriculum. Regularly reviewing relevant research in education and the specific subject area is essential for keeping the curriculum up to date and effective. This helps to identify best practice and adapt to evolving educational trends. Select appropriate instructional strategies, method, and approach. Choose the right teaching method is vital for successful implementation. This requires considering the learner's style of the student, the learning objective, and the resources available. This might involve a blend of approach such as direct instructional, collaborative learning, and technology integration. Train teacher who will implement the curriculum. Through training is essential for teacher to effectively implement the new curriculum. This includes understanding new methodologies, content, and assessment strategies. Understand implication of social issue and social change in the curriculum. Curriculum developers most carefully consider the social impact and implication of the analyzing how the curriculum address social issue and adapt to change in social dynamics. Validate the content of the curriculum. Validation of curriculum content is crucial to ensure accuracy, relevance, and alignment with learning objectives. This might involve expert review, pilot testing, and feedback from stakeholders. Support from stakeholders and government on needed curriculum reforms. Securing buy-in for all stakeholders including teacher, parents, administration, and government agencies is vital for successful implementation. This requires clear communication, collaboration, and addressing concerns in crossing out bureaucratic barriers to curriculum implementation. Streamlining process and removing bureaucratic obstacles and important for efficient curriculum implementation. This might involve simplifying administrative procedures and fostering collaboration between different departments. Yearn for quality education through a relevant and responsive curriculum. The ultimate goal is to provide high-quality, relevant education through a curriculum that meet the diverse needs of students. This requires continuous evaluation and improvement. Zero out irrelevant and erroneous curriculum contents and materials. Ensuring the curriculum is free from outdated, inaccurate, or irrelevant information is crucial for maintaining the credibility and effectiveness. Regular review and updating are necessary. Teachers as curriculum leaders in instructional planning process. Instructional leadership is always associated with school administration, particularly school principal. Oliva 2005 and Ornstein and Hankins 1993 defined curriculum to include instructional. Accordingly, curriculum and instruction are inseparable part of curriculum processes. Is instruction that deals with the implementation of the curriculum. Instructional leadership is often linked to school administration, especially principal, because they are responsible for managing and guiding the overall teaching and learning process in school. However, researchers like Oliva, Ornstein, and Hankins have pointed out the concept of curriculum goes beyond just what they written in a guide or syllables. It also includes how teaching instruction happens in the classroom. This means that curriculum and instruction are closely connected and can't be separated. One important of the curriculum process is instructional, which refer to how teaching deliver lesson, use teaching strategies, and guide student learning. Max Ewan 2003 pointed out the instructional leaders must be knowledge about learning the theory, effective instruction, and curriculum, which she recognized as the power within the educational force. According to McEwan, effective instructional leaders need to have a deep understanding of learning theories, effective teaching strategies, and curriculum design. She emphasized that this combination of knowledge is a powerful force in education. This means that being an instructional leader is not just about managing people. It requires expertise in how learning happens and how to plan and deliver lessons that meet educational goals. In Risen and Dick model that teacher as curriculum leaders need to ensure the curriculum standards and competency are reflected in the instructional goals are implemented carefully. This model emphasizes that the importance of analyzing the context and the learner's characteristic while teachers select the lesson objectives. According to Risen and Dick's model, teachers who serve as curriculum leaders play an important role in making sure that curriculum standards and competencies are properly carried out in the classroom. This means that when teachers plan their lesson, they need to ensure that their instructional goals align with that curriculum requires. This model also highlights that before choosing lesson objective, teachers should carefully analyze two key things: the content, what need to be taught and characteristic of learner, such as their abilities, interests, and learning needs by instructional goals by clearly defining the overall learning objective. What are the students supposed to achieve by the end of the instruction? Identify objective. Break down the overall goals into specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Smart learning objective. This objective should directly relate to instructional goals. Analyzing content. Examine the subject matters to be taught. What are the key concept, fact, and the skills? How complex is the material? Analyzing learner characteristic. Consider the student prior knowledge, learning style, and needs. This help tailor the instruction to the specific audience. Develop assessment tools. Create a method for evaluating student learning such as tests, quizzes, projects, or observation. This assessment should align with the learning objectives. Plan instruction activities. Design engaging and effective learning activities that will help students achieve the objectives. Consider a variety of methods to cater to different learning styles. Choose instructional media. Select appropriate materials that technologies to support the learner activities. This might include textbook, software, video, or other resources. Implement instruction. Deliver that instruction using the plan, activities, and media. Revise instructional after implementing the instruction. Gather feedback and data from assessment. Use this information to improve the instructional design for future iteration. This step crucial for continuous improvement.
Teacher as curriculum leader in evaluating instruction. Evaluating instruction is also an important function of a teacher as curriculum leader. It is necessary for a teacher to ensure that the curriculum is implemented as it was planned. It ensures that the curriculum standard and competencies are true effectively to every learner. Evaluating instruction also measures the effectiveness of how the curriculum is implemented. It means evaluating instruction in teaching. It highlights the crucial role of teacher as curriculum leader in ensuring the curriculum is implemented effectively, meeting standard and competencies for every student. In evaluating instruction, teacher need look at the following procedures. 1. Planning for the evaluation. For example, plan, she decided to check understanding after a week of teaching. Next is determine instructional evaluation design. Design. She chooses a quiz and class of observation. Develop instructional evaluation instrument. For example, create tools. She makes a short quiz and checklist for class behavior. Number 4. Collect data. The teacher will collect or gather necessary data needed for the instructional evaluation. For example, collect data. She gives the quiz and observation how students work. 5. Analyze data. Teacher will analyze the data, gathering the interpret result. Analyze. She looks at quiz score and here notes to see who struggled. Last, report finding or the result of the instructional evaluation. For example, She shares results with the class and plans extra help for students who need. Since the K-12 curriculum is a standard-based curriculum, reform all teachers compelled to focus their attention on the following. 1. Clarity of the standard. Teachers should know the essential standard that every student should learn in the curriculum. These standards are contents, skill, and values or attitude that students need to learn and master. Here are teachers should clearly understand what students need to learn, like specific skills, knowledge, and values. For example, if the standards say students should be able to write a paragraph, the teacher teachings how to make a topic sentence supporting details in a conclusion. Second, visibility of performance measure. Teacher need to ensure that each curriculum standard show visible outcome or performance. Here are teacher must check if students are actually learning and meeting the standard. For example, after teaching paragraph writing, the teacher check the student work using a checklist to see if they follow with the correct format. Third, consistency of communication. Teachers should effectively communication the standard to all students. Consistency for communication is teacher must explain the learning goal to student clearly and regularly. For example, at the start of the lesson, the teacher tells student, today we will learn how to write a good paragraph with three clear supporting sentence. A. Teacher as curriculum leader, preschool. Republic Act 1015-7, otherwise known as the Kindergarten Education Act, integrates kindergarten education in the formal education system of the country. Before the school year 2011-2012, kindergarten education was not a prerequisite to grade 1. It was more of a privilege for learners whose parents can afford kindergarten education for them. Desirable but not mandatory. This slide talk about Republic Act 1015-7. The Kindergarten Education Act. It say that starting in school year 2011-2012, kindergarten become part of the official education system. Before that, it was optional and only for families who could afford it. Now it's included so all children have a better start in school. The kindergarten curriculum includes the following areas. Values education. Values education teaching children good behavior, respect, and kindness. For example, saying please and thank you or helping a classmate. Second, physical health and motor development means helping kids stay healthy and develop body coordination. For example, playing games, running, or doing exercise like jumping jack. Third, social and emotional development means teaching kids how to express emotion and make friends. For example, learning to say I feel sad or talking turns when playing. Next, cognitive development. It means solve um, helping children think, solve problems and remember things. For example, solving a simple puzzle or matching shapes. Next, sensory perceptual motor development. meaning develop skill through touch, sight, sound, and movement. Next is mathematics. Mathematics means learning about number, shape, and simple math. Next is understanding of the physical and natural environment, meaning learning about nature and surroundings. For example, talking about the weather or plants. Next is understanding of the social environment. Understanding of the social environment, knowing about family, school, and community. For example, drawing their family or talking about what a policeman does. Last is language, literacy, and communication. Meaning is learning to speak, listening, read, and write.
So this is the continuation of discussion of Miss Intia. The inclusion of kindergarten in the formal education curriculum of the country necessitates all educators to study the child-centered philosophy in the context of standardization of curriculum and modernization of pedagogy. There is a need for teachers to review the curriculum standard to ensure that the learner's need and nature are reflected. They need to develop new ways of assessing learners' progress, and they need to find ways on how play and other progressive approaches will fit in the new rules of standard-based education. So the new kindergarten curriculum needs teachers who are highly trained in handling young children's behavior and in guiding them towards learning. We will need the teachers who are not only implementers of the curriculum, but curriculum leaders who will make decisions about the selection of content, materials, and assessment tools to be used. So dahil sinama na ang kindergarten or edukasyong pambata sa formal na curriculum ng bansa, kinakailangan ng lahat ng guro na muling pag-aralan ang child-centered philosophy o paraang nakatuon sa mga bata sa konteksto ng modernong paraan ng pagtuturo at mga pamantayan ng kurikulum. So, ibig sabihin, kailangan nilang tiyakin na ang mga pamantayan sa kurikulum ay angkop at tumutugon sa pangangailangan, kakayahan at likas ng katangian ng mga batang mag-aaral. And next, the teachers as curriculum leaders in the elementary grades. Primary or elementary education is always regarded as laboratory of life. As such, its primary goal is to develop the basic skills, literacies, and life skills that all learners need to be prepared. The subjects are designed to provide necessary information to help learners understand the world and their rules and develop necessary skills that they need in everyday life. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, the vital roles of teachers in elementary education as curriculum leaders, meaning they don't just follow a set curriculum, but actively shape how it's delivered and how it meets student needs. Elementary education is called the laboratory of life because it's where students first learn essential skills they will use throughout their lives. Dahil dito, malaki ang papel ng mga guro bilang curriculum leaders o tagapagtaguyod ng curriculum sa elementarya. Sila ang may responsibilidad na tiyakin na ang mga asignatura at aralin ay tumutugon sa layuning hubugin ang mga bata hindi lamang sa akademikong aspekto kundi pati sa literacy, life skills at pag-unawa sa kanilang paligid at tungkulin sa lipunan. In short, teachers in elementary school are not just instructors, they are the leaders who guide the development of young learners into capable, informed, and responsible individuals. Teachers as curriculum leaders are researchers. They study carefully how children learn, discover new ways of teaching and learning, and discover new relevant information related to the subject they teach. They also explore various ways of how effectively assess learning. Teachers expose their students to integrative learning in the elementary grades. So, ang ibig sabihin nito, ang mga guro sa elementarya ay itinuturing na mga curriculum leaders o tagapanguna sa curriculum. Hindi lamang sila basta tagapagturo, they also act as researchers and innovators in education. Bilang curriculum leaders, pinag-aaralan nila ang mga paraan kung saan natututo ang mga bata upang makabuo ng mas mahusay na mga diskarte sa pagtuturo. Para mapanatiling makabuluhan at naaayon sa panahon ng kanilang mga aralin, naghahanap sila ng mga bagong impormasyon o kaalaman na may kaugnayan sa mga asignaturang itinuturo nila. Bukod pa po rito, pinapahusay nila sa mga bata ang integrative learning na kung saan ang mga paksa ay pinag-uugnay upang mapabuti ang pag-unawa ng mga mag-aaral. Elementary teachers lead the curriculum by constantly improving how and what they teach, assessing learning in thoughtful ways, and creating meaningful, connected learning experience for their students. And the next one is the teachers as curriculum leaders in junior high school. The junior high school program of K-12 includes grade 7 to grade 10 of the secondary level. It is the entry point of students to the rigors of various disciplines in the areas of science, social sciences, mathematics, humanities, and applied disciplines such as home economics and vocational technology. So the important role of teachers as curriculum leaders in junior high school, which includes grade 7 to grade 10 under the K-12 program. At this stage, students begin to face the more complex and demanding subjects or disciplines. As curriculum leaders, teachers in junior high school are responsible for guiding students through these more advanced subjects and helping them to develop deeper understanding and critical thinking skills. So, sa madaling salita po, ang mga teacher sa antas na ito ay tumutulong sa mga mag-aaral na ilipat mula sa basic education patungo sa mas specialized na pag-aaral. They are essential to preparing students for senior high school, higher education, and future careers. In junior high school, teacher will assume leadership roles by sharing their disciplinary expertise to the student. They are content expert and effective facilitators of teaching and learning process. They plan effective lesson, select context, and identify strategies that are relevant to their student. So the important role of junior high school teachers as curriculum leaders by focusing on their responsibilities and influence during a critical stage in student development. Teachers are not only knowledgeable in their fields like math, science, or English, but they also skilled in making learning happen effectively. They design and manage the learning process so that students can grasp and apply what they learn. At this stage, students undergo many emotional, social, and cognitive changes. Teachers understand these challenges and act as role models, helping students develop not just intellectually, but also morally and socially. Sa madaling salita po, ang mga guro sa junior high school ay may malaking bahagi hindi lamang sa pagtuturo ng mga bagay sa mga mag-aaral, kundi pati na rin sa pagbibigay ng inspirasyon at mga modelo ng magandang asal para sa kanilang mga mag-aaral. In short, junior high school teachers are more than subject instructors. They also leaders who shape both the academic and personal growth of students. And last, the teachers as curriculum leaders in senior high school. The senior high school program is a 2-year education program added to the 10 years of basic education in the Philippines. In senior high school, students will choose their own track from academic track, technical and vocational track, and arts and sport track. The academic track has 4 specialization: humanities and social sciences, business, STEM, and general academic. So, ang senior high school ay bahagi ng K-12 program sa Pilipinas kung saan layunin nito na mas mapaghandaan ng estudyante para sa kolehiyo, trabaho o negosyo pagkatapos ng high school. In senior high school, students have more control over their learning path. They can choose a track based on their interests, strengths, and future plans. The main tracks are academic track for those planning to go to college. This includes for specialization, humanities and social sciences, business accountancy and management, science technology, engineering and mathematics, general academic strands or GAS, technical vocational livelihood TVL, track for those who want to gain practical skills and work immediately after high school. Arts and sports track for those inclined towards creative or athletic careers. Teachers as curriculum leaders in senior high school have an important responsibility to guide students in choosing the right track aligned with their goals, equip students knowledgeable and real-life skill relevant to their choosing path, whether for college or employment, design and deliver specialized lessons that meet the needs of each track. To put it briefly, senior high school teachers do more than simply teach. They also assist students in development specialized skills, making wise decisions, and being ready for life after high school. They take the lead by matching instructional strategies and curricular content to each student's future path. And this is where my discussion ends.
I'm Ella May Ortanes Vanillas, the next discussant in this evening. The senior high school teachers will need to develop and implement lessons that are: so first, learner-centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate. This means the lesson should focus on students' needs, interests, and abilities. All types of learners should feel included, and the content should match their level of maturity and understanding. The second bullet, relevant, responsive, and research-based. So, teaching should respect and include local cultures and situations, while also preparing students to understand and engage with the world beyond their community. And the third bullet, culture-sensitive, contextualized, and global. It means that the teacher should use strategies that encourage students to build their own knowledge, ask questions, think deeply, work with others, and connect ideas across different subjects. And the last, pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative. So, lesson must connect to real-life situations and current issues. They should adapt to student changing needs and be supported by reliable studies and finding. Next, the teacher as curriculum leaders of 21st century learning. So, the 21st century is marked with various changes and challenges brought by forces like globalization, changing individual and social value system, economic situation, political issues, cultural diversity factors, massive influx of information technology, environmental issues, and the increasing amount of information made available to the public. These factors demand that education must innovate and reshape itself to meet the needs and challenges of the people and the society. So, this means that the teachers today are more than just classrooms instructors. They are leaders in shaping how students learn in a fast-changing world. With all the challenges like globalization, technology, and cultural diversity, teachers must be flexible, creative, and forward-thinking. They need to design lessons that prepare to students not just academically but also socially and emotionally and also globally. As curriculum leaders, teachers should lead the way in updating teaching methods and content to help learners adapt and succeed in the 21st century. The senior high school teachers will need to develop and implement lessons that are: first, learner-centered, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate. This means that the lesson should focus on students' needs, interests, and abilities. All types of learners should feel included, and the content should match their level of maturity and understanding. Second, relevant, responsive, and research-based. So teaching should respect and include local cultures and situations while also preparing students to understand and engage with the world beyond their community. Third, culture sensitive, contextualized, and global. Teachers should use strategies that encourage students to build their own knowledge, ask questions, think deeply, work with others, and connect ideas across different subjects. And lastly, pedagogical approaches that are constructivist, inquiry-based, reflective, collaborative, and integrative. So, lesson must connect to real-life situations and current issues. They should adapt to student changing needs and be supported by reliable studies and finding. Next is the teacher as curriculum leaders of 21st century learning. The 21st century is marked with various changes and challenges brought by forces like globalization, changing individual and social value system, economic situation, political issues, cultural diversity, factors, massive influx of information, technology, environmental issues, and the increasing amount of information made available to the public. These factors demand that education must innovate and reshape itself to meet the needs and challenges of the people and the society. Teachers as curriculum leaders of 21st century learning means that teachers today are more than just classroom instructor. They are leaders in shaping how students learn in a fast-changing world. With all the challenges like globalization, technology, and cultural diversity, teachers must be flexible, creative, and forward-thinking. So, they need to design lessons that prepare students not just academically, but also socially, emotionally, and globally. As curriculum leaders, teachers should lead the way in updating teaching methods and content to help learners adapt and succeed in the 21st century. Next is the Middlewood and Burton 2001 noted that 21st century teaching and learning would need a completely new paradigm of learning. So, this new paradigm of learning focuses on developing critical thinking, creativity, communication skills, and collaboration. So, Middlewood and Burton are saying that teaching today must go beyond just memorizing facts. So, this new paradigm of learning focuses on developing, first is the critical thinking. So, critical thinking means helping students learn how to analyze questions and evaluate information instead of just accepting it. It's about making smart decisions, solving problems, and thinking for themselves. The second paradigm of learning is creativity. So students should be encouraged to use their imagination and come up with original ideas or solutions. So learning shouldn't be limited to right or wrong answer. It should allow freedom to explore and innovate. And the third paradigm of learning is communication skills. So, learners must be able to express their ideas clearly, whether in speaking or writing, and also listen and understand others. Good communication is key to success in school, work, and life. The last is collaboration. So, working well with others is important in the 21st century. Students should learn how to be team players, respecting opinions, sharing tasks, and helping each other to reach common goals. Next is Law and Glover 2000 also identified new features of education focusing on: first, learning how to learn. This means that students should be taught strategies to understand and absorb knowledge on their own. It's not just about memorizing facts, but about developing skills like critical thinking, self-discipline, and how to find and use information effectively. Second is the learning as a process or a journey. And the third one is learning as a lifelong process. So we don't stop learning after school or college. Life constantly brings new challenges that require new knowledge and skills. That's why education should prepare people to be flexible and always open to learn something new. And the last one is teacher as a learner. So teachers should also keep learning to stay updated and improve their teaching. They should be open to feedback, new methods, and even learning from their students. This helps them become better educators and role models.
So now, first of all, I am Christy M. Lagyap, and I will tackle the framework prescribed that all textbook and the instructional materials. First, aligning to the K-12 curriculum. The textbook and other instructional materials should follow the curriculum standard and competences prescribed by the K-12 curriculum. This means that the contents of the textbooks and the instructional materials must be consistent with the curriculum standard or competence prescribed by the K-12 curriculum. They should cover the required subjects and skills that students need to learn at each grade's level. So, let's proceed naman sa contain expert systems of knowledge. Authors that are expert in their field should write the textbook and other instructional materials. The author of this textbook and instructional material should be expert in their respective field, or should we say the author is the teachers. This ensures that the information present is accurate, up-to-date, and reliable, expert, and provided authoritative content that is aligned with the educational standard and supports the learning objective of the K-12 curriculum. Have provisions of differentiated instructions. It is important to provide activities and assessment strategies that are relevant to the learning style and thinking preference for the learners. So, this refers to the tailoring teachers' methods of education's content to suit the diverse learning style and thinking preference of students. It is involved providing various activities and assessment strategy that cater to those differences. Example na lamang ay ang pagbibigay sa kanilang mga iba't ibang mga critical thinkings. Those critical thinking ay mas lalong magiging it is a part of assessment to think about their subjects or about the lessons. So let's proceed naman sa provisions of reflective thinkings. The instructional materials and textbooks should engage the learners to develop deeper understanding of the learning lesson, development critical and creative thinkings, and ensure the reflective thinkings. This focus on engaging students with the instructional materials and textbook in a way that promotes deeper understandings of the lesson. It is also aimed to develop critical and creative thinking skill and thinking among learners. So, just like what I am explaining about the different instructions, this is the reflective thinkings is also aimed to the student will be have critical thinkings, like we give them reflective thinkings or anything about the lessons to them to understand what the lesson is. Let's proceed. Another one is provisions for the parental and community. It is involved and instructional material should encourage parental and community the textbook involvement. So, this involves creating an instructional material that encourage facilitate the participants of parents and its community in the community process. Engaging parents and community can enhance the learning's environment, provide additional support for the student. Developing teacher as a curriculum leader. Curriculum leader are trained and developed. They are product of different in-service and pre-service teacher education program. They also develop their skill from their teaching experience and encounter with the great teachers. They are product of mentors and they are formed by the supportive professional work environment. Teaching experience further refines their skill as they apply what they're learning in real classroom settings, adapting to challenges and opportunity that arise. Encounter with the great teachers provide models of effective teaching practices, inspiring and guide them to improve their own methods. So, mentoringships play a critical role, offering a professional or personalized advice as feedback and support which help them to navigate their professional journey. Just like us, when we pagpupunta tayo sa college or kung tutungtong na tayo sa fourth year college, we as a future teachers, kailangan natin pumasok sa ibang eskwelahan. I think we all know about that, na kailangan natin mag-practice as a pre-service teachers at para na rin ma-improve natin yung mga kailangan natin malaman as a future teacher for us na ma-improve natin yung skill natin, how to mentor those students and how to be around of those students. And that's help, di natin yun magagawa kung wala tayong mentor. Kung tayo ay magiging mentor in the future, ay mayroon din tayo makaka-encounter na mentor. Parang baliktaran din yan. Umiikot tayo sa bilang isang magiging mentor tayo at magkakaroon tayo ng mentor. Kasi we're not going to somewhere or hindi natin malalaman kung ibang bagay kung hindi natin pag-aaralan. At kung hindi sa pag-aaral at kailangan natin ng mentor, yun ay ang isang teacher or kung ano pa man. There are few important factors that need to be considered in the development of teacher as a curriculum leader. First, teacher empowerment. Teachers need to be empowered to make important decisions, solve problems, take actions, and innovate in their own school and classroom and classes. These factors emphasize the importance of giving teachers the authority and confidence to make significant decisions and solve problems, take actions, and innovate within their school and classes. Empowered teachers are more likely to engage the creative teaching method, adapt to changing educational landscape, and contribute the school improvements effort. And the second one is efficient system. Teachers need to work in an efficient working environment. They need to be part of a system that is collaborative, professional, and effective. Just as a system facilitates communications, sharing a best practices, and collective problem-solving, creative development there, where teachers can maximize their potential and impact. Teachers need to work in efficient working environment. It is their choice. Number 4, administrative support. At any level, teachers will need full support from the administrations, especially when they want to innovate or develop good program from the school and for their student. This will be by providing resources, encouragement, and conducive environment. Administrators help teachers develop and implement high-quality program that benefit students. This support can take the forms of professional development and opportunity funding for new materials and cultural that values and rewards and innovations. So now let's proceed to number 5, learning community. Teachers most experience to work in a learning communities where all behave a professional, avoiding any forms of professional jealousies and free from insecurities. A learning communities among teachers is essential from fostering collaborative and supportive professional environment. In just a community, teachers behave professionally respecting one another and working together toward common goals. This environment is encourage open communication, sharing of ideas, and manual support, helping to eliminate professional jealousies and insecurities. By focusing on collaborative growth and collaborations, teachers can enhance their own practice and provide educational outcomes for those students. So, teacher must don't be insecure because when we are insecure, those students maaari nilang ma-apply din iyon because maaari nilang ma-adapt kung ano yung mga binibigay mo at kung ano yung nakikita ng student sa teacher na action nito. So, being a teacher, you should be a professional, avoiding any form of professional jealousies and free from insecurities. We should be a professional what we work or what we are doing. And yes, educator is very hard. This involves fostering an environment where high standards are upheld, continuous improvement and encouraged, and every student has the opportunity to succeed. The proximity arises from the various processes embodied in this task, just as the need to balance innovations with consistency. Individual student need with the standards, expectations, and teacher autonomy with administrative oversight. To address this challenge, teachers must be actively engaged in improving curriculum and instructions.